This is Vani Mardi, Assistant Professor, Vignaneshwara Government Law College, Martur, Kalburgi. In the previous sessions, we have discussed about the remedies for the breach of contract, rights of unpaid seller, and many other aspects. Today, we shall see what is contract of sale and agreement to sell. What actually is the difference between these two? So, contract of sale is one wherein the seller transfers the goods for price immediately after entering into the contract, whereas agreement to sell, in agreement to sell, the seller agrees to transfer the goods for price on some future date. This is the difference. In case of contract of sale, there is exchange of goods for price immediately, whereas in agreement to sell there is exchange of goods for sale on some future date. The agreement to sell can become sale on a lapse of time and fulfilling the terms and conditions of the contract. So in contract of sale there is immediate transfer of ownership rights, but whereas in agreement to sale the transfer of ownership rights takes place on some future date. The risk in contract of sale transfers to buyer immediately once there is transfer of goods. So in case of breach of contract, in contract of sale, the seller can recover the price by taking legal action, whereas in agreement to sell, the seller can only recover the damages, that is compensation, but cannot recover the price. Then in case of contract of sale, the seller can resell the goods, but in case of agreement to sell he cannot resell the goods. Suppose for example a person agreement to sell has taken place, has been entered into between two parties, that A place an order to make a chair worth of 5,000. So according to the order placed by A, B prepares the chair which is worth of 5,000. Before the party comes and takes the goods, that is chair, another party comes and says that he is ready to pay 10,000 for that chair. So what the seller does is he sells it to the C, wherein the sale made to C is contract of sale. So under such circumstance, whether the party who has ordered for the chair can bring action. So he cannot bring any action, but he can only claim damages. This is what is the difference between agreement to sell and contract of sale. Having known about this, the next important topic we need to um, look into is Passing of Property under Sale of Goods Act 1930. So what is passing of property? Passing of property, or it is also called as transfer of property in sale of goods. So passing of property means it is between the seller and buyer. Passing of property between the seller and buyer after contract has been entered into. Once the contract is entered into, payment is made, the property has to pass from seller to buyer. Okay. So as long as the property is with seller, the risk is also the risk also lies with the seller. The risk is to maintain the goods, to see that they are not deteriorated, and once the property is passed to buyer, the risk follows with the buyer. So this is highlighted in section 26 of Sale of Goods Act. The rules relating to the passing of property are covered from section 18 to section 25. Let us see what these sections uh, speaks about. Section 18 speaks about ascertained goods. For passing of property, it is necessary that the goods have to be ascertained. Ascertained means they should be specific. So there are so many goods. What kind of goods have to be passed on? What kind of goods, on what kind of goods payment has been made? So all these things have to be looked into and see that they are ascertained. So long as the goods are not ascertained, no transfer of property takes place until and unless the goods are ascertained. This is covered under section 18. Then coming on to the next section, that is section 19. This is about the intention of the parties. So it is necessary to see whether it is intended by the parties. What is intended by the parties? Passing of property, whether this is intended by the parties. How will we come to know that there is intention between the parties? That can be known by looking into the terms of the contract, by the conduct of the parties, that is behavior of the parties, then circumstances of the case. We will come to know about the intention of the parties. When there is intention of the parties, then passing of property takes place. Then section 19 is about the delivery, state of delivery. When the goods are in the state of delivery, which means they are ready for delivery, which means they are unconditional, no conditions have been imposed, then the buyer is bound to take the delivery of the goods. So what do you mean by delivery of the goods? Delivery means voluntary transfer of possession by one person to the another person. That is what delivery is. So this happens if the goods are in a state of delivery. So this is highlighted in section 20. Then section 21 is about the goods are to be put to state of delivery. To be put to state of delivery. So here, to be put to state of delivery means something has to be done to deliver the goods. Until and unless that is done, the goods cannot be delivered. So the passing of property takes place only when something is done to deliver the goods. This is highlighted in 21. Then 22 is about delivery of goods on measuring and weighing. If the condition is that the goods shall be delivered on measuring it or on weighing it, then passing of property takes place only after that. Then section 23 is about unascertained goods. So whether unascertained goods can be transferred, that is whether passing of property takes place if there are unascertained goods. So in order to pass on the unascertained property, there is hard and fast rule that it should be converted into ascertained property. That means it should be appropriated. It should be seen that they are ascertained. This is what is highlighted in section 23. Then section 24 is about the transfer of passing of property on approval by the seller. So if it is approved, then passing of property takes place. Then 25 is about reserving of certain rights. If certain rights are reserved, only after fulfilling the conditions, those reserved rights will be transferred and then passing of property also takes place. So this is all about the rules governing the passing of property under Sale of Goods Act, that is from section 18 to 25. 26, as I have already pointed out, it is about the uh, risk follows with the seller and buyer accordingly. Then the next important topic once again that we need to look into is about the transfer of title. Title means, as we all know, it is ownership. So the transfer of title is governed by one principle, that is a maxim called as nemo data quid non habet, which means no one can transfer a better title than what he himself has. So if a person has better title, if he is owner, then only he can transfer his title. Otherwise it is not possible to transfer the title. For example, if A is owning a car and B steals it from A and sells it to C, so B has no better title, then he himself has no better title, he can't transfer it to C. Under such circumstances, A can uh, he can take the car from C and C can recover the price from B. This is what happens. So he cannot transfer better title than what he himself has. But to this rule there is one exception, and that exception is mercantile agent. So mercantile agent is a business agent wherein though he is not the owner, though he has no better title, but since the principal authorizes him and since the principal gives the document title of documents and since the principal gives the possession to him, when he sells it becomes valid sale. But here the presumption is the buyer presumes that the agent is the real owner, but actual owner is in reality is the principal. So this is the exception. So these are the important topics we need to master in Sale of Goods Act. Thank you.